Hello and welcome to the episode 1 of the Wellness Whisperers. My name is Myrna Brady, and I am excited to introduce you to Dr. Taylor, who is the founder and director of Rescu Wellness. I'll get into more of who I am, but it's important for him to tell you who he is, what we are, what we do. Dr. Taylor, it's all you.
Hello. So you can see we're struggling a little bit. This is our first podcast that we're doing, the Wellness Whisperers. And welcome to Rescue. As you can see in the back, this Rescue without the E on the end. And we want to kind of bring our story to you and kind of talk about what Rescue is, who we are. And then we're going to talk a little bit today about our L.E.O.N protocol.
Awesome sauce.
You like L.E.O.N? Not the actor L.E.O.N, but L.E.O.N protocol. We're going to definitely talk about that today. So let me get a little bit serious. I'm just going to introduce myself. I am Randy Taylor, also known as Rondolph Taylor. Don't ask, it's a long story, but I go by Randy Taylor. So I am an emergency physician, and I trained in New York at Jacobi and Montefiore for emergency medicine. I went to medical school at Columbia, not the country, but the school on 168th Street. And yes, I am a doctor, a real doctor. I get that question a lot. That's what I'm saying. That implicit bias, but we're gonna skip over that. But anyway,
on it today, bro. You're on it. I love it.
Yeah. But anyway, we will digress. We may go into that at some point. But yeah, as you can see, I am a physician, emergency physician, and 3 years ago, there was a major event in the country. Can you guess what that was? Yeah, we were locked up for
we got
it.
a new president? Oh, no. Sorry.
No, it was COVID-19. So COVID-19 coming on the scene. Myself as an emergency physician, saw people standing outside in the cold, freezing, waiting for tests. And I said, who sees a lot of people in the same place in an efficient way, rapidly, and gets people tested and then get the results? Emergency physician. So, needless to say, we came up with a company named Healthy Therapeutics. We saw a need and we provided testing initially on the corner in Brooklyn in front of a school. Thanks to you, Natasha Campbell. She gave us that opportunity, and we were able to start testing people there. And we slowly grew into Westchester, and eventually we had 6 sites where we were testing people for COVID-19 and getting them the results as soon as we could. We also started testing for flu and RSV at some point. We're in respiratory season right now. And eventually we parlayed that into another type of business, which is Rescu Wellness. We saw a need for non-traditional, non-invasive technologies that could help people improve their optimal health. And I worked last night, so I sound a little illiterate, but our motto is one body, one life. And Rescue really tries to seek out any sort of non-invasive cutting-edge technology that can improve health. And the story for Rescue, the way it happened was we were doing the COVID testing. We were seeing hundreds of people a day. I had no thoughts about wellness, and the CEO of LightStim called me up at one of my sites, and he cold called me, and he said, "You need to get a LightStim bed." And I said, "What's a LightStim bed?" Because I had no clue. And that became part of the L of L.E.O.N, which is light. It was red light therapy. He had done tons of research on this. He told me a nice anecdotal story where his son had untreatable hypertension, and he had tried everything else, and he tried to come up with his own therapy for his son's illness. And he told me about special acrylic on the LightStim bed, which comes from the Amazon, and they were able to create this LightStim bed. So I had to do my own research on red light, and red light It's very effective. I think you have a little story around your red light.
To me, red light is the secret sauce. It is the answer to not having to take a bunch of pills and so many other things. And the reason why I'm going to say this, I'm the lighthearted one of the group. I was teaching classes. I'm a 20 plus year fitness professional, and I was trying to do something I probably shouldn't have been, and I threw out my back really bad. And I remember I drove up to one of their sites when they first got the red light bed, and I walked in literally hunched over with both my sons escorting me. And when I walked in, both Dr. Taylor and Felix Obeng, our nurse, looked at me and was like, "What happened to you?" And I said, "Well, that's why I'm up here, my back. I literally couldn't stand up." And so they escorted me over to the red light bed, and they said, "Lay on this for 40 minutes, 20 minutes on your stomach, 20 minutes on your back, with as much skin as possible touching the bed." And I will tell you, I was very skeptical. I did not believe it, because usually when I throw out my back, I'm out for about 7 days. And I remember getting in there and feeling just kind of really like vulnerable, I'll be honest with you, because you're literally like in a bikini type thing. And I'm telling you, by the time I turned over to go on to my stomach, I felt relief. And I remember coming out from behind the screens where I was and looking at both Randy and Felix and saying, "What kind of witchcraft is this? Because I feel really good." And after I got off that, Dr. Taylor will talk more about the energetic therapy that I received afterwards. But I can tell you that Red Life has changed my life. And I'll talk more about what I do here at Rescue. But I know all of the athletes that we work with. And we work with, I want to say, out of the top basketball kids in the country, we work with at least 5 of them. And they all swear by it. When they get hurt, if anything's going on, or to be proactive about their playing, the first thing they ask me is, "Can we get on the red light bed, or can we have the red light panel?" They understand how it manages inflammation, how it just also helps with brain health. So red light therapy has been an amazing asset to our practice, and the lead in L.E.O.N, our protocol.
Yeah, I mean, I had no clue what red light was, but I started doing my research after the CEO called me, and the more I read about it, the more it sort of made sense. Very safe, number one.
So break down what it does in the body, June. It's like, that's what's like, everybody's always like, "Oh, how does it manage the inflammation? Like, what is it doing?" Like,
Yeah, no, I like to keep it simple. I mean, obviously, there's more complex stories behind the way light sort of promotes life and supports decreased inflammation. But, basically light is life, right? If you were to blow up the sun, and I tell my patients, they've heard this sort of pitch, if I blew up the sun right now, probably within 24 to 48 hours, everything would be gone, right? And that's why we love our sun that has been shining for millions of years. Red light is a portion of the spectrum, and we have the visible red light, and we also have a very powerful invisible red light that kind of produces heat. And you can kind of see that when people are using guns and they're using the infrared for night vision. So when you put this light on the skin, those light rays, that radiation can penetrate the skin, and it induces nitric oxide production. And where have you heard about nitric oxide before?
you?
Are you a fitness professional? Nitric oxide?
Mitochondria in the cells?
Okay, you're jumping.
Oh, okay.
So your pre-workout.
Oh, yes.
Right? You see all this
Nitro.
and get your nitro.
NO2. Got it.
People are freaking out before, after they take this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But basically that gives you the pump because you vasodilate. So anything that vasodilates or stretches the arteries is going to really give you increased blood flow. Increased blood flow provides increased nutrients to anywhere that is damaged or injured, and provides increased oxygenation.
Does it help with bone health too?
It helps with everything. Anything where there's any inflammation or injury. People who have arthritis, people who have had sports injuries, sprained ankle, Saquon Barkley, Giant. I'm a Jets fan, but I think a few years ago he had a really bad ankle sprain, and he was on the light stem, and it helped him get back on the field quicker.
Chris Paul too. He's a
Phoenix Suns was using LightStim.
yeah, he used
a
it
few
for
years
his
ago.
hamstring, his glute
I think
tear.
NHL, Major League Baseball, they actually have the portable ones that you can use at home. We didn't
In
even
this
talk
room,
about
what
we
do
didn't
we
even
use
talk
it
about
for in
skin.
our room? Exactly. Look at the room
Where's
that we're
our red
in.
light panel? Okay.
In,
Anyway,
in the red light room, because
and,
remember we had the skin issue today.
yeah, we like to use it after one of the procedures we do, which can cause a little redness. The tri-lift. You could kind of see the top of the handles back there. We're gonna get to that non-invasive facelift, cutting edge.
Whisper,
Yes.
whisper,
Whispering tri-lift. But yeah, we're talking about the L.E.O.N right now. So anyway, we also have our own cutting edge red light panels, which we sourced ourselves, and is also a great machine. I'm always on it. Just know, all you clients, when you don't show up, I'm getting on the red light panel.
Ditto.
So thank you.
Ditto. Thank you.
You're making my skin look nicer, and you're giving me more energy.
Exactly.
Making me healthier.
This is 53. I tell people all the time. They don't believe me when I tell them my age.
This is 27.
Lies, the lies you tell. Well, with his, I'll piggyback off of his lie, right?
Because my hair's growing back. No.
Okay.
So red light does stimulate hair growth. You might see some of these weirdo looking hats on Alibaba or Temu or Amazon, where people put on the hats, and they have, you got to make sure you're getting good equipment. So I do want to say LightStim is number one red light to me. Company sponsorship. It is one of the whispering wellness, right?
Yeah.
Wellness Whisperers.
Wellness Whisperers.
Episode 1.
Okay, all day. And I just realized I haven't introduced myself, who I am.
Who are you?
I'm your older sister, number one. Yeah.
TMI.
We're also related, can you tell? But my name is Myrna Brady, and I'm a 25 plus year fitness professional. And why I got into this business with, I like to call them my brothers and my sister, Felix.
Felix is standing at the door looking in like
he's hiding behind the door. I don't know why. You should just come in. It's a podcast for keeping it 100.
Horror.
Yeah, I don't know. Go back there somewhere and say hi, Felix. People can't see you yet.
Hi, this is Felix the nurse.
Okay.
So, Felix and I are creatures of the night, number one.
Yeah, they're
night crawlers. We're going to let you continue your introduction.
Yeah, I know.
But I did want to interject and say, for me, LightStim and Red Light Panel has prolonged my career. I'm a night doc. I've been working nights at a very prestigious hospital in Westchester, the number one hospital. What is it? What is the motto again?
Sleep when we die.
No, for the hospital. What is the hospital's motto? Every day. What is it?
Oh,
anyway,
they're terrible. They see what they interrupted my introduction.
We'll get back to that.
They don't even remember.
But
exceptional every day.
Exceptional every day.
And that's what we do here.
They're not.
They have a great, they have a great, what's that, slogan?
Yeah.
But we have a great slogan too, one body, one life.
Live longer and age gracefully. Let's
get back to why I'm bringing this up. So I work nights. I live in Brooklyn, and we have a site in Brooklyn, Park Slope. But anyway, on top of that, I have to drive home after these night shifts. So I have to go down to FDR from Upper Westchester. Anybody who's been in New York knows it could be 7 a.m., it could be 10 a.m., it could be 4 p.m. It's going to take you about 2 hours, right? And it's a 45-minute, really, drive. The reason why I bring that up is I used to, when I get home, I got to park, and they have the city bikes. I hate bikes, by the way. But anyway, why do they drive in the middle of the street? There's a bike lane. But anyway.
Because Brooklyn streets are about
this
big.
No, but anyway. So what I want to get back to is that I'd be exhausted. So if you know about New York, me listening to Apple Music, sponsorship, or Hot 97, or WBLS, whatever it is.
Ad time.
I don't know what that is, but essentially I'm trying to stay awake. I'm rolling down the windows, I'm passing out, I'm tired. So I started using red light. And red light we didn't talk about the big improvement it does on mitochondria, right? It stimulates the mitochondria, the engine of the cell, and creates ATP. That gives you energy. So literally, I will do what Myrna talked about, doing a 40-minute session of red light, 20 minutes on face down, 20 minutes face up. And I come off of this thing and I have energy. And I'm driving home. I don't have to, play Busta Rhymes on 20 and keep shaking my leg and pinching my leg. And these are all the secrets. And pinch my leg, stay up. And almost swerving into the median, which is dangerous. Don't do that. But the reason why we say this is that red light works. Red light is amazing for increasing your energy. I almost equate it to taking a few cups of coffee. It actually improves your sleep, so you'll sleep better the night after your session.
Oh, but wait a minute. How about the fact that it puts you into REM and deep sleep at a quicker pace?
I'm sure it does.
It definitely does. There's
Stimulates
research that
melatonin
shows
production.
Absolutely. Hence again, why the skin looks so great up in here.
But quickly, right? I will say, and then I'm going to let Myrna finish her introduction.
That's
and Felix talk as well, because I'm talking a lot.
A whole lot.
I don't like to talk a lot.
That's a lie.
Emergency doc. What's wrong with you?
He tells.
Let's get your test. Let's get you out.
You're going to see on this podcast, he is extremely verbose. But
anyway, the reason why I'm saying this, you made me forget why I'm saying this. But the reason why I'm saying this is that red light works. It's amazing. We talked about increased nitric oxide. We talked about increased ATP. I still have one other thing I'm going to talk about, but Myrna, take it away.
You sure?
There was something else I was trying to say, but I forgot.
What is that, Felix?
It'll come back to me.
He's going to jump in again. You done?
I'm quiet now.
Okay, you done. All right. So as I was saying, my name is Myrna Brady, 25-year plus fitness professional, and I've been around Felix and Randy, fortunately but unfortunately, during the whole COVID experience that they talked about. And while they were dealing with that, I was looking at massive changes going on in my industry at the time. I was working for a pretty prestigious fitness establishment and looking at them doing everything from changing HEPA filters in their HVAC system to literally reconfiguring floor plans and people coming in and working out in masks. And one of the things that I kept coming back to both Dr. T and Felix and saying is people have absolutely no endurance walking up the stairs, or if I teach, let's say 5 minutes of a class, people are looking for a break. And these are people who were in exceptional shape, like ultra marathoners, bodybuilders, people who I would never imagine. So when they started talking about this concept of a wellness center, I was like, oh, that's a no-brainer, because people are going to need red light to recover from COVID. They're going to need the different type of therapies that we were looking for. So with my background and synergizing with these two, I thought it was the next step in where we're going in terms of health and wellness and helping to be proactive about chronic illness and disease. And that's my passion.
All right. Blah, 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 blah. Nice. I know. I like.
You remember?
I like that. No, the reason why I said that, and the reason why, let's get to the meat, man. People want to know the meat. You are a fitness professional. You have probably 6 to 7 of the top high school athletes in the country right now, right? Well, who are we talking about? Can we say some names?
Yeah, we can say names.
Okay. So what are the names?
We got Elijah Moore, aka.
All right. We don't want to know their government names.
Chopper.
We want to know their YouTube names, right? So.
Okay, so what do you?
Chopper fam, right? Boogie, right?
Dwayne Pierce.
All right.
Okay.
Who's the dude dunking all over the place on all his stuff?
Ian
Jackson, Captain Jack. Right?
Captain Jack.
And we have many more other athletes coming.
Dylan, Allen, Princeton, African American lacrosse
player.
player.
Who's Leg? That's my son. You will know him one day.
Brady up at Ithaca. Brady up at Ithaca.
Brooklyn Tech. Let's go.
Canterbury alum.
All right.
But
Escalades, New York.
my son, Castle. Back in the day, wing.
All right.
6'4",
Felix got his swimmers coming, so get ready.
Oh, you got a swimmer.
Yeah. Oh, Sydney, Sidbit. Okay. But anyway, back to the high school athletes that you've seen here. Give us some anecdotes of how you've used red light to help them.
In an effort to not just like single out any single person.
Just in general.
What they realize is
give
that,
us a real life example of someone.
I'll tell you, like right now I have several of these young men. They're getting ready to get on the plane to go over to Arizona. They're going to be playing Monteverde. They're going down to play at OTE at the corporate center down in Atlanta. And every single one of them were like, hey, I want to come in before I get on this plane, because they understand the benefits that we talked about of red light. They know it's going to help with their inflammation. They know it's going to help with their energy level. What people don't understand about basketball players, and I myself didn't know until we started dealing with kids at this level, young people at this level and the collegiate level, is they have to do way more than just put that ball in the basket that we watch. They have to look at film. They have scouting reports. They have scouting books. They have to know absolutely everything. The kids that we're talking about, they not only have to do all of that, what the average player has to do, they also have things like podcasts that they have to do, and they have appearances, and everybody gets excited about their NIL deals, but they need the energy for that. And so they come out of a 2-hour rehearsal, they come out of a 2-hour practice, and then have to go right into filming a documentary, or they have to go right into making a community service event. So many of these athletes...
Don't worry, that's just the whispering. We're doing that on purpose.
Many of these athletes are so dialed in, and they will text us, really, dude? It's not like you're a doctor or something.
Sorry.
But many of these athletes and their parents, and that's the most important part. As far as I'm concerned, when we're working with these young athletes, is their parents, their spouses understand the importance and have seen with their own eyes how this benefits them. And some of these athletes get here as early as 6 a.m. in the morning. And we have one athlete who just went up to 8th grade prep school, but all through his 7th grade year, he would literally work out with his trainer at 4:45 in the morning, and then come to us at 6 a.m. And from 6 to 6:45, he would do the red light bed. And I will tell you that this kid is, first of all, don't want to say his name until we talk to his parents because he is a minor. But the bottom line is, you will know about this kid in a couple of years. This is a young man that wrote Krzyzewski when he was 10 years old and said he was going to go to Duke. Krzyzewski responded to him, and he's on his way. But this kid was an honor roll student. He played basketball, football, you name it. And his parents are very, very, very open and saying, we know the red light help. So it is just one of what we call our secret weapons to really empower and elevate the athleticism, and not only these high performing athletes, but in my mind, if you have a body, you're an athlete. So whatever your sport is, whether it's life, whether it's being a parent, whether it's being a nurse, a doctor, a fit pro, red light is for you.
All right, Felix, grab the mic.
Hi, everyone.
Introduce your background, please, and then I'm gonna set you up for a question. Sure. You are a lot of times one of the main providers here at Rescu and seeing patients. So, give your favorite case that you treated with red light here. I would love to hear it. Give some background.
Sure. My name is Felix, the nurse. I'm a ER nurse. I love emergency nursing. But before...
Where do you work?
I work at a prominent hospital.
This guy works everywhere. Where do you work?
I work everywhere, so I've seen everything. I work in
How many
Bronx,
jobs do you have?
I work in Brooklyn.
You're not Jamaican, right?
I'm African.
Okay.
I'm from Ghana.
Jamaican, Ghana.
Yeah. I work in Yonkers, so I've seen different types of patients. But first off, I would say, like Myrna said, and Dr. Taylor, before we really put anything out there, we use it on us so we don't worse, right? And we're not gonna put anything out there without not using it on us. So, and it's not the Alibaba stuff. This is real stuff, I'm being honest.
I like Alibaba. Shout out to all my Alibaba vendors. You know who you are?
But I've had many people come out the red light room and just say thank you guys. Like Myrna said, she was the first person when she said, what kind of witchcraft is this, right? When she came in, holding her back. She couldn't walk, and then an hour later, she's walking straight and smiling. I get a lot of phone calls. Thank you, Felix. My skin. We start from skin to feet. My skin, my face looked like glass after doing multiple sessions of red light. Another guy said,
Yeah,
"Oh my
so
God!"
just to interject real quick, I didn't mention it before, but red light stimulates collagen, right? So you have improvement in your hair, in your nails, in your skin. Why is collagen important? We're gonna talk about that later with the tri-lift, right? But it's important because you're losing collagen 3% every year from the age of 18. Do the math, age 36, you lost more, almost 50% of your collagen, right? So you're gonna start to get some frontal lines, nasolabial lines, marionette lines. Red light is a great non-invasive way and cheaper way, right? You're paying probably hundreds of dollars for these Korean skin products or, some of the other, professional brands. And you're on TikTok, you're doing this 6 product. I know, see, I'm emergency medicine, but I know about skin. But yeah, I'm gonna let Felix finish, but again, red light does improve your skin. Keep going, sir.
One of them said, "I don't know, but I was happy all day." All right, why?
How does that work?
It works on your serotonin levels. All right, it makes you happy. You're not too sad. Another client who said,
Seasonal affective.
it's seasonal affective disorders, right? So this winter, actually, you need to come in for your red light. It's very warm, safe. And the room is actually cozy. Another client, the athletes, it's just I can't stop saying it. They come in with their legs swollen, they're in pain. They get out of the bed. All they say, "Thank you, Felix." They call him Myrna. And Myrna is calling me, "Felix, can you please be here on Sunday?"
They dropping buckets, okay? I would say unofficially, you look at the scoring averages. So you want to get buckets, come and see Myrna, get those hips loosened because I know your hips are tight and you're not working out with the right people and they got you working out wrong and lifting stuff like lifting cars. You're a basketball player. You're not a football player, okay? So lift right and get with the right person that knows and tells you how to move your body in the correct way. Because I'm watching my Instagram feed and I see people getting hurt, and then people asking, "Why does my back and my ankle hurt?" Maybe because you lifted up 600 pounds and you got a 10-pound basketball. You don't need. So get your flexibility on.
I didn't know that.
Stretch out your. I used to play basketball.
Okay.
I'm 6'2"
I
and a
used to
half.
beat him too. I used to beat him.
That's when I was like 2, 3, and 3 years old.
He was 2, 3,
But
and 3
what
years
I
old.
do
That's a
wanna
lie.
say,
He could barely
If I
walk and
wasn't
talk
a
at the same time.
emergency
at 3.
physician, I'd be a basketball player. And yes, I'm living my dreams through my son. I'm not ashamed. But what I do want to tell you
I'm
is
a
that
basketball coach.
this combination right here
This right here.
gonna
this
get
right
you
here.
buckets. So come in, get a what? Oh, all right. So honestly, people, I love interrupting as you see what I'm doing. But we got to
Can I
move.
talk
We got
about blood pressure patients, please?
yeah. Talk about. Well, we talked a little bit about blood pressure with the owner's son, but go on with that. I think we've really overdone the L. It's time to get on to the E.
Energy and exercise. I'll let you guys
And
be energized.
that's where the exercise. That's why I want to get to the exercises. We're a 2-floor facility. We've been talking about some upstairs. We got some downstairs stuff. So go ahead, finish.
All right. Blood pressure clients. Patients that have never seen their blood pressure in the 120s. Right. Their blood pressure medication. The blood pressure is still through the roof. 170, 150. After a couple sessions of red light, blood pressure goes down. Why? Because of your increase in nitric oxide. My man, when you have increase in nitric oxide, you got blood flowing down there. You're working out. You know what I'm talking about.
And not only that, we got something else for that here. Shockwave. So anytime we can introduce a service, we're gonna whisper it. So we've been talking about light stem, red light panels, tri-lift, yeah, we got a lot going on. So anyway, the Wellness Whisperer is gonna continue. Go ahead, sir.
For my diabetic patients, the ones that go to bed and their feet is killing
Wound
them.
care management.
Wound care management, paresthesias, right?
We're going there soon too,
There
by the
you
way.
go.
Go ahead.
they called me and said, I never felt it last night when I went to bed. So this is amazing and incredible. The results, we can't talk about the results.
Well, I can talk. I'm going to talk about results. I like talking. I have a story for you.
Didn't he say he wasn't a talker in the beginning of this podcast?
No, but I have
Didn't he
I have
not
a great.
say
I have a
He was
great.
not a talker. I just
have
want to
an
say
He likes to
said
talk
that.
outside.
Yeah, okay.
When we
Thank
at
you,
work.
Felix. Felix, I know.
When we are working.
No, that's
Yeah, he don't
burnout.
know.
That's ER
But-
burnout. No, I don't know. I'll have a pillow for you, and no, I don't have water. No, I'm just kidding. But listen, I love doing that for my patients, actually. But anyway, I want to tell a story. I'm at home in my little gym room in my little house in Park Slope. Yeah, that's another plug. We have a Park Slope store right off of Union. But I'm in my home, and we have this I got inspired by LeVar Ball. Stop hating on him. He put 2 sons in the NBA, and there's a third this project. So anyway, I get on the little pull-up machine. No, it wasn't a pull-up. Oh, I try to do a dip. So I get up there, I do my dip, and my wife immediately says, "What the hell are you doing? You haven't exercised in 10 years. What are you doing?"
Even though I'm like one of the best trainers in the Northeast.
Well, life
He doesn't
happens,
train
you
with
know.
me.
I have 4 kids.
One of the best in the Northeast.
Anyway,
I have the paper.
I get up on this
He
thing,
doesn't train with me.
I come
And then he
down,
does this.
and my wife says, "What the hell are you doing?" And I'm like, "Calm down, it's fine." 3 seconds later, my elbow is the size of a softball. And literally, I think I tore my biceps tendon down here. It was really big. It was painful. And I literally, we have a red light panel in Brooklyn. And before every shift at the store, I would go down there and just sit in front of this panel for about 15 minutes. And at some point, I might even post the pictures, because I took pictures of the before and after. So you might see it on this podcast once we post it. But it literally deflated this balloon of an injury. I literally was wearing a brace, and I got worried because in the ER, Felix knows if you're right-handed, you're going to use your left hand to intubate, where you have to actually put in a tube. Someone's dying or can't breathe, and it's this motion, and you could see this is really getting stressed. So seriously, I was actually worried that I wouldn't be able to intubate. But using the red light, just 2 sessions, literally all the swelling went down. The pain went away. I think it's equivalent to taking, high dose Motrin, and you get great relief. My mother had, God bless her soul, she had terrible rheumatoid arthritis.
We put it on.
And I would go see her in the nursing home, and she'd be crying in pain. So it feels like a knife. It's in my spine. She had cervical neck surgery at Columbia, in her late 70s. So she had some chronic pain after that. She had deviated fingers. She had swan neck deformities. She really had bad rheumatoid arthritis. And I used to use the light stim on her. And I remember I was in the nursing home, and the physical therapist walked by. He didn't know I was a doctor. Implicit bias. But anyway, didn't know I was a doctor, and I used the light stim on her. And you could literally see she would stop crying, her swelling would go down, her inflammation would go down. So red light is truly, truly, truly amazing. Continue, Phil, so I'm sorry.
No, it's more to say. But I'll go on and on. I mean, that's one of our clients' favorites, right? Everybody comes in for red light. And then we introduce them to, a lot of people don't know what red light is or what red light does. They heard about it. So
there's a lot of facial masks out, right?
Exactly.
There's the hats like I was talking about. They even have, and the third body just added it to their
guns, right?
To their guns. Yeah. So it's you have the mats. I'm gonna say this. I was speaking to one of an ICU doctor that we work with, and I told her, and she kind of looked at me strangely, but I think she understood. I think everybody in this country should have a red light instrument in their house. Now, obviously, you're not going to get, light stim has 4 wavelengths of red light. We have red light panels that are like industry standard and very powerful, and you can basically exercise in front of them. When we put it over you, you're gonna feel like you're in the Caribbean lying on that beach. And I remember, I'm from Costa Rica, and I used to go down to Costa Rica. You're from Ghana.
From Ghana.
The sun is different down there, right? It's not the northeast sun, so you can't just lay under there forever. And you should also wear sunscreen all the time. Really will prevent you from aging 10 to 15 years, at least in terms of appearance.
Ulta MD.
You gotta whisper it, right? We have an Ulta MD. Hold on a sec. Let's get this out here. I mean, come on.
It's the best.
We got some time. We got some time, right? So we have Ulta MD. We are a legit skincare practice. Don't let the skin tone. We all skin types. Don't let our day job tell you that we're not skin experts, because we are skin experts. And yes, there's dermatologists, board certified. We respect them. Obviously, they're on another level. But we are medical professionals, and we have invested in premium skincare. And I don't want to jump too far into that yet, but these are great products. We use great products at Ulta MD. Seriously, PCA skincare, which I really took from our dermatology colleagues, knowing that is one of the main skincare lines used in a lot of places. And we also...
All skin type is very comfortable and suitable and works well on all skin types.
Yeah, we're doing facials, we're doing peels. So we really try to take care of the whole body. And the light, as we said, is a very important part of that. So I just wanted to throw that in there. Put your sunscreen on every day. Every day. Should be reapplied every couple of hours. And I can tell you, because we do a lot of aesthetics here, and Felix, you could, chime in, and Myrna, you could chime in.
Let me try to get Felix to come on seat.
But yeah, Felix, come on, pick those legs up. If you come to Rescu, 111 Brook Street in Scarsdale. Have you ever heard of Scarsdale? Doesn't Beyonce live in Scarsdale?
She got married in Scarsdale.
All right, so yeah. Actually, I think it is number one in terms of income, right? Isn't it like
it's one of the highest income in gross?
I think it's pretty high.
Yeah,
in New York at least.
But there's also, Westchester has
we hope to get to Connecticut
Harrison, Bronxville. Don't get it twisted. Then you go all the way up there. There's some other places up there. But let's talk about the E. Let's talk about exercise.
Whoa! You just, we're not done yet.
How do we done turn red light into crazy glue? We beat that to like a horse.
No, but I was making a point. The last point I wanted to make was that sunscreen. I'm taking to you, people of color. I'm talking to you. You need sunscreen, okay? I know we got melanin and it's a natural protection, but let me tell you, that sun that's out there
story to tell you.
Is one of the biggest damages of skin, and it ages you. And we do a lot of procedures, like the dry lift. And what I'm trying to tell you,
and that machine back there is supposed to do some stuff too.
Oh yeah, this Stellar M22. But that gives you sunspots, and we could fade that for you over a few sessions. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is that I can literally tell if somebody uses sunscreen and what age they started just by seeing them. Like, they walk in and I'm looking at them and they tell me their age and they say, hey, I'm 62, but they look like they're
82.
49. I'm going in the other direction. Okay. Stop interrupting. I'm just kidding. But they look like they're 49. The reason why they look like they're 49 is they'll tell me regularly, they drink their water, but whenever they go out, they put on sunscreen, they reapply it every couple of hours, and they've been doing it since they were either in their early teens or definitely before the age of 20. And they do it religiously.
And one of the things that we found too with
whether the sun is out or not, sunscreen.
Well, at least what I've seen here, and Felix, you can let me know if you agree, is people that are not from this country have a tendency to use sunscreen a lot. especially people.
Baby oil doesn't work.
Baby oil doesn't work. Okay.
Oh, what's that other stuff they like to put on? Jojoba cream.
I talked about it the other day. Jojoba oil,
Look.
shea butter.
Look. Can I get into the screen for a minute? Can I get some screen? I gave them some alone time.
All skin type.
But let me explain something to you. Right? When you're growing up, I know if you're a woman or a man of a certain age, especially if you were a
Aluminum
family of color, your mama used to grease you up, right?
Yes.
She didn't want you looking
Dax,
oily.
DA hack.
She would use
You know about
whatever
that.
she
Dax,
Crisco,
green.
whatever she had in the house. Your mama was oiling you up with it. Okay.
What were you doing?
What were we thinking? Ooh, no, we were drinking castor oil. We weren't oiling ourselves.
Castor oil has some benefits. I know you've seen that crazy looking lady, and she says put castor oil.
Look, NK, oh my gosh, we can digress. This is going to be interesting. See, it starts out so serious, and then it really goes downhill quick. But what I was saying is, we didn't know better, right? Back then, we didn't know better. So we used the oil. And I remember specifically, like it was yesterday, PS33, playing outside and wondering why my legs were burning me so much. We were literally burning ourselves. And then we fast forward. I remember one year I went to, I think it was Jamaica, and I thought my brother was going to kill me because I fell asleep in the sun on the beach. And when I came home, I had like 3rd-degree burns. I had really bad burns. I had to go to the doctor. I had to get a prescription and everything. And that was, for me in my 20s, the epiphany that I have to make sure that I take care of my skin, because I was thinking, oh, black don't crack, we cool, all that good stuff. See, I bought that back News 12. You remember y'all tried to play me by putting that in there, and I made you take it out. I was on to y'all. But anyway, okay.
We love you, News 12.
We love you, News 12, but that was not cool. Y'all was trying
put us on the stage.
black don't crack. That was an outtake. That wasn't supposed to be on there. That wasn't supposed to be on there. But now this is our podcast, so I can say that. However,
no, we love you. Come back.
We love you, News 12. We do, but we didn't appreciate it. I didn't appreciate it.
Did you just say that?
He said that.
Real marketing, real friends. Yeah. Anyway,
that's what they are. News 12 are our friends.
Inside joke,
who happen to be real. But yes. So again, I'm gonna take this crazy glue and scrape it off the top of the bed now, because.
All right, let's get to the E. Let's get to E, like you said.
Yeah.
So.
Oh my God.
E, let's tie this in.
Felix, I did not know he likes to talk so much.
Let's tie this in.
I had no idea.
I want to talk about exercise before we talk about energy first.
He liked to talk so much.
Let's talk
It's
about
a red light.
exercise.
That's the effect of
This
it.
is the Kanye in me. Don't worry.
Ooh, please don't use his name. Not this
Yeezy.
time of year.
We love
We're not
Yeezy.
using
Let's
that.
go.
No, you love. I don't like that crazy man. He is.
Go.
He is off.
You being disrespectful
He
right
is
now.
off.
I
That
love
man.
You being disrespectful.
He is not. He is.
Come on, man.
He is a few lemons short of his
you
lemon
being
tree.
disrespectful.
I
His
love
train
Yeezy.
does not go down the track. And I pray for him. I think he's a musical savant.
It's 129.
Okay, he's a musical savant. I will give him that. But anything outside of that, oh boy, it's the
You
generation.
see the Yeezy shoes?
Let's get to the E. Let's get
Those
to
are
the E.
heinous, and they're horrible for our
Exercise,
clients.
rescue. Let's focus. So.
Perfect segue. Why we would not use Yeezys in exercise? Okay.
No, we don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
Let's talk about rescue.
Mhm.
What do we have downstairs that separates us from, and this is a perfect question for you to answer,
Mhm.
seriously, from Lifetime, from Equinox, from Restore Wellness, from all of our,
People that are in similar spaces but not doing.
right.
Well, the first thing, and I'm not trying to sound any kind of way, but they have us, right? There's a trifecta of medical and fitness professionals that pretty much triages every single client that comes in here when they're talking about exercise needs. And what I always say is, an idea without a plan is just a wish. So if somebody has the idea, oh, I want to get in shape. Well, how do we measure that? What we have here, nobody else has collectively. They might have one, they might have something that's similar, but they don't have all the technology, the metrics, and what really matters, which is the 3 collective minds that can sit down, analyze this data, and then come up with a plan. So everything from body composition, right? We come in here and we talk about that. We look at the body from the inside out, from the outside in. So we have body composition tools. What are we throwing up right now?
I don't hear you talking about the E, so I'm putting up the E.
The E is exercise. Body composition is
Okay,
important
but what
before
we
you
have is-
exercise,
Okay, keep going.
right? I can't put you on the floor if I don't know what's going on with your body.
Oh, why do we have a body composition?
We have a staiku.
What's a cycle?
The staiku is our body composition tool.
Okay, but what is it?
It helps us assess where you are. It looks at your body fat. It looks at your visceral fat. Your visceral fat is the fat around your organs.
How does it work?
Well, if you play video games and you build a My Player, it's very similar, right? It actually is like a 3D rotational piece of equipment. And as I said,
What's the okay, go ahead.
these podcasts gonna be a lot. They're gonna be a whole lot. I gotta call on the blood of Jesus and everybody because he is wearing me all the way out.
You sound like you're 12 right now, but go ahead.
As I said, okay.
Don't cry.
It doesn't. Don't be mad because I can code switch so very well. Anywho,
Check out that clip.
You won't
got rid of
find
it.
that
I
clip,
think I have a copy
okay?
of it. I'm
You
post
won't
it.
find that
You might
clip.
see it when we post
You
it.
will not see that clip in here.
She actually called up the news station.
Yes,
How?
I did.
Who does that?
Me.
Like, we're getting free marketing
What are you
from one of
talking
the
about?
biggest companies in Westchester.
No,
And she calls up
representation
News 12
matters. And
and
says,
says,
pull
You better
that
take
clip.
that out of here.
Yes,
We just
absolutely.
opened here with
I have
nobodies.
a
But
brand
anyway,
to protect,
Go
okay?
ahead.
I am Myrna Brady, honey. Y'all know who I am.
I thought it was
Anywho.
authentic and I thought it was awesome. And
I thought it was a beautiful and authentic
it was
moment.
funny that they picked that one.
However, that part. So, I was unnecessarily interrupted, I'm going to talk to you about what we have. And I'm going to try to give you the Reader's Digest. For those of you born after 1980, that means the short version, okay?
All right, you talked about the cycle. What else we have?
As I said, I was going to continue down our protocol. So after we do the cycle, we then do something called the Proteus motion. The Proteus motion. We are a proud affiliate. I am a proud certified trainer, and I can tell you there's less than 200 in the United States.
How do we get it?
Luda.
Move!
All
Did you
right.
see him at Atlanta when he came down over there? But anyway, he doesn't know who we are, but we know who he is, obviously.
He's gonna know soon.
You should come and use our Proteus, Luda. But go ahead.
Oh, excuse me. Clearly, I'm going to have to host one of these alone. So the Proteus motion is a unique tool that it moves in all ranges of motion, and it provides resistance on both sides of your movement. So it's like working out in water. You ever tried to like run in water and you feel all that resistance all the way around you? So that's what the Proteus motion does, excuse me, in terms of training. But more importantly, it captures, just like our body composition tool, metrics. So it's all about your power, your speed.
For all those trainers out there who don't use metrics, it's a real thing.
It's called
It's
data.
METRICS.
It's
So
data.
instead of just saying, lift heavier, you have data. Pre-training data, interim training data, and post-training data. That middle word I know I made up, but I'm tired. I'm post-shift. But I still want to say, you have data. And without data, what do you have?
I wish.
Nothing.
Nothing. No, in all seriousness. And the
You're not
beautiful
getting
part,
data at these other places.
the
I'm just
beautiful
saying.
part of working with medical professionals who, like, I guess, moonlight as comedians, right, is that you are able to speak with them. And there's little things that we can see when we have athletes come in here.
I just remember something. I was a quality director for Mercy Medicine. And one of the things they always said, if you're not measuring data, you're not getting better. So I didn't want to say that.
Absolutely, metrics matter. Like that's one of my
It's like a blood pressure. It's data.
Mm-hmm.
right, and it gives you. If you don't know where you are, how do you know where you need to go? So the bottom line is, we work with a group this summer, Gorilla Prince Athletics, and they work with some very high level high school to collegiate athletes. And I can tell you, we body comped all of them. For those of you in the world of fitness and health, You may know about the functional movement screen. We did functional movement screens on all of these individuals, which really test flexibility, mobility, core strength, upper body strength, lower body strength, and then we put them on the Proteus motion. We monitored these individuals for the month. I worked on them specifically with mobility, with flexibility training, pliability training. We'll go into what all three of those things are one day. And then Felix was played an integral role in getting many of these kids into the hyperbaric chamber, offering red light, PEMF.
You're jumping ahead.
After that month,
You're jumping ahead.
I'm talking about our
We're not talking
tools
about
and
the-
what our data did.
Okay, let's stick to
Not all kids use the HBOT, but it was important to talk about it being part of the program. As I was saying, the most important thing in that whole thing was the analysis. All the kids showed anywhere from a 6 to 12% increase in all of their numbers. Whether it was 2 to 3% in muscle mass, whether it was a loss of body fat, whether it was an increase in peak power, lower body, upper body, we saw the changes. And even
So
with
one thing I want you to talk about, not interrupting for no reason this time.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about how the Proteus is beneficial for injuries or people coming back from injuries.
Absolutely, because once again, because of it simulating the water stimulus, right? Working out in water. It is not impacting your joints. It's not impacting your tendons. It is really helping to stabilize you through your core. So if you are dealing with any type of, rehabilitative state, it is not going to impact you the way the forces would impact you if you were working with regular weights, and how gravity would impact your tendons and your ligaments and joints. So that's one of the things that we try to do. We talk about being non-evasive a lot here.
Remember the kid that you treated was going to PT,
Mm-hmm.
was hurt and was not using the other leg, but you did the Proteus and it confirmed that he's better. It's just a mindset then.
Absolutely, and that kid plays for one of the top universities in the country. Don't want to go into where he's at, but the bottom
Why
line
not?
is because we didn't get clearance. Okay,
We're on YouTube right now. We're talking about. But anyway, go ahead.
Anywho, that's the mother in me. That's you could tell. You could see fathers, mothers,
It's 2023.
Paternal energy.
He probably posted 1 million times that he was here.
maternal energy.
Go ahead.
Right, but the bottom line was he did have a knee injury, and no poo-pooing on PTs. I love you, physical therapists. I know
PTs are super important.
for PTs, the ones that are good, okay, because
I
we
know
do
some good
have
ones.
some. You're blessed because you have an athlete, so that's important too, right? When you're looking at your physical therapist, you have to ask yourself: am I trying just to get out of a cast and be functional? Functional is being able to wipe your butt, be able to brush your teeth, things of that
You
nature.
make a good point.
Are you trying to get back to sport? Are
It's
you trying to get
different.
back to yes?
There's different
Different levels.
levels of PTs. I've had the experience of going to one of the more popular ones that, like you said, it'll get grandma, granddad
Yes.
moving from the bathroom to the kitchen.
Functional.
But then there's other PTs that will get you back to sport.
Absolutely. Yeah. Your son's PT HSS has some really good ones as well.
Style and Strength is,
Out of Brooklyn?
down in Brooklyn. I think it's on 3rd Avenue. Surrounded by I think he's a doctor of physical therapy.
Yeah. DPTs, look,
He's doing a next level stuff. So
DPTs are really good, especially when they focus on back to sport. My background working with DPTs is corrective exercise. That's what my background is in. And so the goal is once they come out of a physical therapist, because really quick, our country, insurance, they're going to give you but so many sessions. By the time you come out, you're basically cleared to be functional. But now we've had several from the athlete we were just talking about. I have another athlete that just got into Maris. Shout out to Chelsea Porto. She is one of our first high school ambassadors. And when she came to us, Felix, you remember, she had a cast all the way up to her hip. She plays field hockey and lacrosse, and unfortunately she was checked improperly, and she experienced a crack in her tibia and a crack in her patella. And she was nervous because she's a sophomore, she's a top level lax player, and She finished up her PT, and then I had a conversation with her PT to see where she was, and we just put her on a simultaneous program. We worked in tandem, and I'm happy to say she just found out that she got a scholarship to play D1 lacrosse at Marist.
I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
What's your name, Chelsea?
Chelsea Porto.
So Chelsea comes in today.
Yes.
I think we have something now that we didn't have when she initially came in. So.
Oh yeah. Well.
Let's whisper it.
Vibration plates. Vibration plates.
Felix got the right answer.
Output.
Let's talk about output.
Output. That's about vibration and output. The output sports. That is basically, and Proteus, you might be mad at me when I say this, but it's true.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
We love Proteus.
We love Proteus. Proteus is awesome.
We love Proteus.
You can work with output with the Proteus, and the
down
Proteus can work with output. They're synergistic tools.
Okay, I like that. That's
They're synergistic tools,
We're
and they would be ridiculous not to
We're
work
all about
in tandem.
synergistic treatment.
They are synergistic tools. They're definitely going to work together, and I've already spoke to both companies about working with both of them simultaneously because it just gives us what? More data. So the bottom line is part of our protocol here, right? You will not find a treadmill. You will not find a rower. You will find a vibration plate. And the benefits from vibration plate training are exponential, right? But that helped Chelsea a lot, to be honest with you, because of what was going on in her leg. She did experience some instability. But now that we have something called output sports.
Whoa. You can't just skim over vibration plates like that. How do vibration plates work? What is it doing?
Oh my gosh. Okay.
You have too many things. You gotta talk about it.
No, I love it, but I was started on the vibration. Then you told me to go to the output sport.
Well,
I went back to the output.
You went to the H
No,
bar.
I went to the
vibration,
H bar a
so
long time ago.
let's
See, there
talk
you go.
about
I was trying to
vibration.
help you out, showing how you work.
Good
me and you
vibration.
work together. You see how they do me? Erica, where you at? I need some female energy.
But
in
how
here.
does vibration?
So vibration, the vibration plates that we have in particular, what I love about it is that it has two different levels of stimulus. One level is all about proprioception and balance. It's just a fancy way of saying balance, change of area, right?
Up, down.
Thinking about stepping off a curb, right? And the older we get, when we start having challenges with like our peripheral vision and with our balance, it's really important that we train that. Athletes, especially if you have flat feet, this is something that's really wonderful to help with stabilization through the ankle complex. And then it also has a neural stimulus, right? So there is like a vibration. And the highest level of vibration and the highest level of balance stimulus is like running up a hill at around 7.0. So whenever people come in here, and I did my training on Power Plates, that's a brand, but on vibration training several years ago in another location. And I have seen the benefits from rehabilitative all the way to sports performance for high-level athletes, ballerinas, you name it, they all use this. So what we decided to incorporate here is our protocol. Instead of using a treadmill or anything else, which will impact your joints.
Whoa. We can't be giving it away.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Let's talk about how vibration plates work.
Well, it's a different type of vibration.
Well, what's nice about vibration from a medical standpoint that I think is really cool, and you actually experienced this. She talks about level 1. Well, or is it, what is it?
U1.
U1. I've done it before, and it's kind of spooky because you're on it, you're getting all these vibrations, and you're shaking, and you'll actually start to get itching on your thighs and on your legs and sometimes in your belly. And that is because you're getting histamine release. Mm-hmm. So histamine, you think about Benadryl, antihistamine. Histamine causes that itchy feeling. And what is indicating is increased blood flow across your capillaries. So imagine you went and did, 17s in your basketball practice, or you didn't run Kansas right, we heard this morning, and you have to go and do, 10 suicides and then run 2 miles. And, shout out to L.E.O.N, Mary Burcham. This guy will work you out if you don't do the drill right. So you come out of that and you come and you see Myrna, and now you cannot walk straight because your hamstrings are super tight and you've been prepared, right, for the war that's coming. Everybody's training, everybody's doing a lot of practices. You can get on the vibration plates and get some nice circulation through those, muscle beds and start some active recovery, right? Because I always like to mention everybody talks about the grind, but nobody talks about the recovery.
Absolutely.
Yes, Kobe was waking up at 1 and 3 and 12 and lifting up cars, but I'm sure
he was getting
recovering.
into ice baths. He was doing all his active
the
ice
king,
baths, stretching.
Bronny.
Thank you.
Bron James, right? We love. It's my
40
Bron. One of these days, you
king.
gotta walk through these.
He's not the king.
We want you coming, King James.
Kobe
Don't listen
Bryant.
to her. She's Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant.
Anybody who's in first, she's with, right? So she's a
Michael
Denver
Jordan.
Nuggets fan right now.
I do not like
But
Denver Nuggets. Don't
let's
do that
go.
to
Let's
yourself.
go Knicks. He likes
Oh,
Boston.
Both of them like losers.
They like
but
all the
that's
old
okay.
players. But
Losing entities.
Porzingis, I support you though, bro. They should have brought you back.
Losing entities.
But let's go back to King James. I think. I'm jumping ahead.
Yes,
I'm not
yes,
gonna
you,
go ahead.
yes. You,
But
I was just about
let's
to
not
say,
go there.
Let's
wait,
not go
you
to
gotta
King
wait.
James yet. No, but
If you want to find out why we like King James, you gotta wait.
But in all seriousness, LeBron James, I'm not trying to hate on him. He is one of the greatest athletic basketball players.
But what did he
to ever
do?
play.
He invested.
He invested in his recovery. And that's what's most important here. We're not just about, the recovery and there's a whole matrix that we do, right? And it's prehab,
We're not giving
post-rehab, post-hab. It's taking care of the whole body and giving attention equally. A lot of people focus, we're going to train and we're going to have the best equipment and we're going to do all these, at the end of the day, life is a push, a pull, a squat, okay, and a rotation.
Proteus.
Okay, you have 4 basic movements: push, pull, squat, rotation.
Proteus.
Outside that, and that's what the Proteus does all, right? So the bottom line is, once we start
Proteus will
looking at
kick
those
your
things,
butt too.
Oh, Proteus, let me tell you.
I've seen high level
tell
athletes, huge guys come in here, 3 minutes.
It'll make. We
gas.
had one of the top
Done.
MMA fighters.
Only 10 pounds.
Top MMA fighters in the Northeast. He's a trainer, Bellator, you name all that stuff. He came in because he was interested in getting a Proteus for his gym. And I had the pleasure and the honor of working with him. This brother looked at me and said, I cannot take more than 2 pounds to punch with, because that's how amazing this Proteus is. I have a son. He's a football player. This young man came in here and worked with 20 pounds last Friday. It wasn't until yesterday that he said, Mom, I stopped feeling sore. And we only worked out for 20 minutes. And it wasn't consecutively on the Proteus.
That's all you
Okay?
need.
That's all you need.
That's all you need.
want to talk about
Don't
efficiency.
go kill yourself.
Gym rat.
We're about to work with, and when that's to come. We're not going to let you know yet. We're not going to let you know yet. But we about to work with one of the biggest entities in sports for high school students.
Don't speak on it.
Oh, no, I'm not speaking on that. But the bottom line is, one of the things, besides him and many other schools have mentioned and pro athletes have mentioned, is the efficiency of our tools, right? You don't have to be here for 2 hours. Anyway, let me be clear with medical professionals in the room who've dealt with rhabdo. You do not need to be in a gym for more than 45 minutes to an hour. You don't. The body's not built like that.
You should be moving naturally.
Yes.
If you're like trying to scale a wall and then wondering why your back is hurting. No, I see certain things and people are, jumping over like walls on one foot and some of this stuff makes sense, but there's a reason why Achilles injuries exploded in the NFL this year.
Agreed.
And listen, I'm not a sports medicine doctor, I'm not an orthopedist, but I am a human being with common sense. And if you're putting thousands of pounds of pressure, just jumping,
Squatting
4 or 5 times a week doing plyometrics because you want to jump like Captain Jack.
All of what he he's saying.
Slow down, man.
I
like,
think there's a purpose.
you gotta calm down with that.
What
You're
he's
gonna
talking
hurt
about.
yourself.
Hurt
You know,
yourself.
like
It's called programming.
gradually
If it's inserted
work your way up
in the proper
and
cycle
then
of
do it. You know,
programming,
like, and you don't need to be
those
doing that
things
all
can
day,
help
all night
with the
because
plasticity.
And
Verticality.
also,
Yeah,
what's going
you're-
on these days
all
with
these
people's
things.
Hearts, right? Pump issues, right?
yeah,
But you know,
calm down.
you gotta calm down with your heart.
That's the ER in them because
Calm
they see
down.
the
Yeah,
worst
calm
side
down.
of everything. But I'm just speaking as
All
a
right, let's
fitness pro.
go on to the other part of the E. We've talked a
Energy.
lot about exercise.
energy. We're gonna talk about energy now, and hopefully I could just take my 2 seconds, and then they can go off on their energy. PEMF, EMSCO, dynamic muscle stimulation.
All right, why don't we talk about it in that order? Go ahead, PEMF. Who wants to talk about PEMF?
We're gonna have Felix talk about PEMF.
Yeah,
Felix,
he's the PEMF
Felix
guy.
is the PEMF guy. I learned from him.
What is-
I'll start with Dr. Taylor. Give me the medical, a little bit of a medical for PM.
PEMF. So, what does it mean? Pulse electromagnetic
Electromagnetic
field therapy.
I want
Always
the cell.
a
the
little bit
cellular one.
hard to say, but PEMF you can also say. So listen, how did I get introduced to PEMF? Me and Felix, right? We
Atlanta.
go down to Atlanta. We're learning about something called ozone therapy, which is a little controversial, but some people believe in it and seek it out. And it's very interesting therapy that, again, within our L.E.O.N protocol provides oxygen. Anyway, prior to getting your ozone therapy treatment, we actually see Dr. L.E.O.N Martin in Atlanta. He has a huge practice down there, and he, I'm sure, is well known down there. And Shaq, I think, goes and sees him, and nurses, Stacy,
Stephanie.
Stephanie.
Didn't you say
Sorry,
some of the
Stephanie.
TNT guys go?
Yeah, Shaq actually does ozone therapy. You know, he has definitely
That's
gone there.
PMF.
But before you do ozone therapy, you need to get your veins to pop up. So that very skilled provider like myself, Jacoby, or Felix.
I don't miss.
I could put lines in anything. But anyway, just being honest. If you're sick and you see me, you feel good. You gotta be confident in life, right? Shoot your shot. That's what I was telling my son the other day. Shoot your shot. What are you sitting there thinking about it? Shoot it. Whether it's a girl or it's a basketball or it's an IV or you put in a triple lumen, you're in a big shoot your shot. Be prepared. But I just want to go back to PEMF. So they told me to lay down on this bed, and I laid down on the bed, and my body started to shake. So pulse electromagnetic field therapy is basically putting some pulses through your body. You might have heard of grounding, where they say that there's electromagnetic field in the earth, and you can walk outside, or walk in the grass, and you'll get some stimulation that way. Or, you talk about bad EMF, sometimes coming from microwaves or cell phones. So definitely PEMF stimulates the body at a cellular level, and it's thought to cause a recharge of the cells. And at the end of the day, you can hear us talk about this again. We talked about it with red light, increased blood flow, nitric oxide, vibration, histamine, capillaries, increased blood flow. PEMF causes increased blood flow throughout your body, and it's very healing and anti-inflammatory. And it's I call PEMF witchcraft because
It works.
you literally will
works.
have a part of your body that's hurting, or and Phyllis, I'll let you tell that part. We actually play a game when most clients come in, and he'll tell you what we do because of the way PEMF works.
So it's basically a diagnostic tool, right? So when clients come in, we don't even know that, they hurt here or they hurt here. I'm like, okay, I have something here. Just lay on it for 5 minutes. Not even 5 minutes, but I'll say three to 5 minutes. And it goes exactly to where they were hurting, right? So basically what PMF is doing is it's forcing blood circulation than the average blood circulation. So like at least 10 times faster when they do the MRI studies. So what it does is when they get to a place that it's not able to move fast because you have some kind of injury, some kind of old scar over there, you've overused, there's not a lot of blood flow going there. It just stays there and gets your body. It will move. And that's what we asked, did you ever hurt this place, or surgery here, or something ever happened? And
we had a pro athlete come in, right? He had a bad leg injury at one point, and we put him on the PMF, and shortly thereafter, he said he hadn't felt his leg like that since the injury. He had increased circulation. It was very emotional.
Very emotional. He ended up crying.
Definitely, it's good for your nerves. It's good for any injuries.
Even
really amazing.
Even just recovery wise, right? You'll have athletes now that'll hit me up and say, I need to come in and get PEMF. Like, they just know, and they'll be like, it's my hamstrings, and they'll be like, okay, we need to put a piece of the apparatus on my hamstring or on my.
And this has been used for over 50, 60 years. Orthopedists were using it
for animals as well, right?
Horses.
Yeah, use it in animals. Magnaway is a big company that promotes for animals.
Yeah.
And they use the rings. We have rings that can go around your wrists or your knees, and it helps heal fractures. So orthopedists used to put patients on this after having an injury. The guy who helped us attain our bed had a player who played baseball, and he went and fractured his wrist by accident, had a cast on, and when he went back to the orthopedist, way before the thought of time of his recovery, his fracture was healed.
Well, I think the reason why my son's fracture healed as quickly as it did is because he came here so many days in a row, and I think why he sounds so optimistic is because he knows when he comes back, he's going to go back on it, and we've seen it with your son as well, And I can tell you, I have some serious hip issues and lower back issues, and Felix will tell you he'll come in here and he'll see me on the PEMF, and just because of the nature of what we do, we're always standing or we're always on the floor. Some of these athletes are way over 200 pounds and 6 foot something.
Also, it's very holistic, right? Yeah. There's no drugs.
It's like grounding.
It's definitely like grounding. I mean, after I come off the PMF, energy all day, I get some of the best sleep. Usually,
that's what I was
red
gonna
light
say.
and PMF, right?
Best sleep.
These are machines that you're gonna get on, and it's so relaxing. It's like you fall asleep and you don't even realize you fell asleep. But then when you wake up, it's like a super nap.
Every 20 minutes is almost like the equivalent of 3 hours. So
it
imagine, we've had kids that have been on there for 45 minutes, and I remember the first time Chapa actually got off, and him and Captain Jack.
I don't sleep.
Ian came in and he looked at us and was
Snoring.
like, I don't sleep, I stay up all the time. And then he laid back and literally, I promised him I wouldn't show the picture, but his mouth is open, his eyes, and you see the rapid eye movement. And from after the rapid eye movement, you see the deep sleep. You see when the mouth, the body just goes listless. And the thing is when they get up, they're like, wow, I'm ready to go. So it's really important that, when we talk about our wellness center and we're being silly and all that stuff throughout this, you understand that we literally help you prolong life, right? All of our therapies, all of our, light, energy, exercise, oxygen, nutrition interventions are helping to prolong life in its natural state. Our goal is to be as minimally invasive as possible. So, when you come in here, we create protocols specifically for you. We talk about your one body and your one life. Everything's tailored to you. We don't just paint a brush and say, okay, everybody's going to do this program or everybody's going to move this way. As we said, we sit down and we look at our it's like I call it a little triage.
It's a little cook-up.
And we say, okay, what do they need?
Tell them what the recipe.
And that recipe is for you. So, no one can come in here and say, oh, I got this treatment. It might be similar.
It's unique.
But it's unique. Even the frequencies.
We like to stack some treatments, right?
Absolutely.
So a good stacking treatment we like to do.
Oh, wait, don't give it all away. Don't give it away.
Yeah, I'm not giving it away.
Okay,
but,
okay.
A lot of times we will combine some of our therapies and we get excellent results. We get double the impact and we get the benefits of, increased blood supply, increased energy, increased healing, stimulation of the immune system.
Did we talk about the dynamic muscle stim for athletes?
that's where we're gonna go next. So,
Mhm.
you know, when you're talking about dynamic muscle stimulation, which you can get from the TriLift or PyFem from M-Sculpt,
Mhm.
this is basically electric stimulation of the muscles. And what's nice about the M-Sculpt is that, you know, it's
Oh, we have two.
traditionally used, right? M-Sculpt Neo, we have M-Sculpt, and we also have TriLift, which stimulates muscles. But the amazing thing about the M-Sculpt technology, I will say, is that traditionally it's been used and talked about in creating stomach muscles and abs and for aesthetic appearance. You know, we're medical and into exercise, and we kind of focus more on the muscle building, you know, and we kind of took it in a different direction. I think here sometimes we still do the aesthetics, and you could come in and get your six pack and do a non-invasive butt lift and shrink your thighs and decrease your fat. But it's really great for athletes or people that are injured. You can do some muscle building without putting stress on the joints. And Scope calls it that
muscle wasting, right?
super maximal contraction. So yes, muscle wasting you talked about. Sometimes you have that after injury. You're in a cast, you're on crutches, you're in a wheelchair, you're not able to do your normal ADLs, and then you have some of that muscle loss. Muscle loss is even bigger right now with Ozempic, Mounjaro.
It's
You know,
huge.
10% chance of muscle loss, and that's why we do it a certain way here with the Staiku. We make sure we're measuring your muscle mass. We're not just giving you a script.
I'm so glad Dr. Taylor brought that up.
Telegenics. It's a great company that we have partnered with.
I'm so glad Dr.
But,
Taylor's bringing this up
It's important to
because,
use this stuff.
you know, we have clients who have gone on this, and I can tell you from personal experience, seeing that they experienced strength loss, right? So they were excited about all this weight loss, and that's why it's important when you're working out with a trainer. And I just got to say this, right, or fitness professional, it is imperative that you understand where your body mass is, right? Because you can in bone density.
Sorry to interrupt. Felix is a night owl. He is working tonight, so he might peel off at some point. But
Sure.
he still loves us and he still cares. He has to work tonight. So.
Okay, so night nurse is gonna go. Okay.
Really?
Go get some rest.
Go get some sleep.
Rest.
Go
You know?
find a
I
beer.
love y'all.
Red
Love
light.
you.
I love y'all. I'm coming back.
Oh
you know?
yeah, episode 2
he'll
you'll be back.
here. He won't be in blue. He'll be here in black like he's supposed to. But
Yeah.
I had a meeting today. I thought, you know, I was trying to
Nobody
be
follows.
I still got my
Nobody follows
scrubs on.
the protocols.
The protocols, but it's okay.
No, you got black on. You got black on.
I know.
Owner.
All right,
black
sir.
on. All right,
All right,
Felix,
guys.
thank you for everything.
Thank you.
But
Hey.
oh, Octavia needs me. Oh, so what I was saying is, when it comes to all of these weight loss therapies and interventions, it's important if you're working with your doctor and you're also working with the trainer, that you speak to your trainer to look at your body fat, your muscle mass, and your bone density. Because think about it, it's wonderful that you're losing 20 to 40 pounds in 3 months, right? But think about the fact that you've been carrying that for years. And now your body, your heart, everything is being changed in a matter of months. So everything should be monitored. And if you're not monitoring it and you're not a medical professional, you can do some damage to yourself. And what happens is you've created neural pathways to make you believe you can still pick up a 35-pound or a 35-kilo kettlebell. But your body can't support that anymore. So you try to push through that, and I could tell you some stories about people who are experiencing everything from muscle strains to muscle tears, etc. So the reason why I'm so excited that we partnered with Telegenics and we are offering these, you know, medical weight loss solutions, it's because we can monitor it properly.
I mean, they're experts in, you know, peptide therapy, and they offer peptides in a lot of different classes. What I will say is, you know, do your research, And a lot of stuff is out there. Some of the popular podcasts about, Ozempic and Mounjaro, and my sort of, I'm a big fanboy of them, and the reason why is not really so much the weight loss, but the effect that it has on your blood work and your inflammatory markers. So you're talking about, and just all the overall health, right? So lower blood pressure, lower cholesterol, decrease ESR, decrease CRP, which is our inflammatory markers. They're starting to see possible benefits with Alzheimer's.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you get the weight loss, which
That's good on your heart.
you have
so
people
many chronic illnesses.
that work with trainers and eat right, and still either don't lose weight, only lose 3 to 5% of the body weight, which is okay. But with this help, and basically you're stimulating a natural peptide in your intestine already, glycogen-like peptide, and you're really just curbing your appetite, and it really allows you to get some significant weight loss. Up to 15% of your body weight with Ozempic, and up to 25% with Mounjaro, and obviously that has to be done carefully, and it shouldn't be something where you're just grabbing a script from your primary care doctor and never seeing them again. There's a right way to do it, and Telegenics does it the right way.
And to piggyback on that, for men and women of a certain age, after the age of 35, we're no longer preparing for childbearing and children. We're preparing for the dash, right? So what ends up happening is things start to depreciate in our bodies, right? So it is important that we're paying attention to that, and that segues us into another form of energetic stimulation that we have here that can help with that, which is something called the Emsella. And we are very lucky to be able to deal with things that people don't really talk about. And women, as we approach peri and menopause, men as they approach, over 45, hitting 50, they're dealing with everything from erectile dysfunction to, hair loss and things of that nature. Our tools can help with that.
Sometimes you just can't hold your urine.
Yeah, you just
I'd
be
running to the bathroom. I'm just gonna
right.
keep it real.
It's true.
I was running around during the pandemic from different boroughs and traveling 2 hours in traffic, and literally I used Emsella, which causes Kegels, on this chair, which you can sit on fully clothed. You get 20,000 Kegels, and that's a lot. I mean, try to go to do Kegels on your own, you might get 20 or 30 out. This is 20,000.
And you're not getting the level of contraction.
Actually, 12,000. I'm sorry. There's 20,000 sit-ups
for the Emsella. Yeah, it's between 11 and 12,000 on the Emsella, and the less body fat percentage you have is the more that you're going to feel it through your whole core, right? So that's including your inner thigh muscles, your gluteals, your quads. I've gotten off there. Other people have gotten off there, and they were like, wow, my whole lower body was hurting me the next day in my lower abdominals. So it uses energetic stimulation, high fem, right, to tighten the muscles of the pelvic floor. And people always say, why do women wear black when they exercise? It's because our little secret is we pee when we sneeze, when we laugh, when we
I did not know that.
Oh yeah.
She told me how people leave for gym class in waves, and they'd come back,
and they would come back, and within they'll be like, Myrna, are we jumping? Literally, I would get that call. I would get that question. Class full of 70 plus women and men. Okay, and men, and they're in there, and we're doing a very dynamic warm-up, or we're doing some plyometric training, which is gym training that day, and literally within 10 minutes of the class I have to take a significant break so people can go to the bathroom. So we specialize in pelvic health.
Segue back to the M-Sculpt a little bit, and talked about how we use it on people who've had injuries, right? So it's amazing. The amazing thing about it is that it's causing what we call a supramaximal contraction, right? So this is a contraction that bypasses the brain. You get 100% contraction of the muscle bed. So just to put in perspective, LeBron James, Tom Brady, they can activate maybe 60% at an elite athlete level. They're like lifting, they're doing curls or bench press or whatever. You're having 100% contraction of the muscle bed special technology. It's a tapping that you will hear during the procedure that removes lactic acid.
The itch that we were talking about earlier.
So you have less soreness,
Mm-hmm.
you know, when you have worked out with this. And as a medical professional, I've seen people, athletes, you know, you're the weekend warrior that goes out and does a sheriff's course or runs a marathon or decides to do 1,000, you know, push-ups after not working out for 5 years. And then they get muscle damage, right? Rhabdomyolysis. They can end up in the ER. You can actually die from this.
Yeah,
You can
rhabdos, you gotta be very
get
careful.
kidney
My
failure.
CrossFitters and
You can
obstacle
start
course
peeing
runners.
dark blood. So never do that. Don't overdo it. But the nice thing about this, you're getting 20,000 contraction sit-ups, whether it be the thighs, the buttocks, the arms, or the abdomen, and you're safe. The next day, you might feel very tight. Your posture gets better right away
Immediately.
because your abdominal muscles are going to be strong, and you're really going to get muscle building capacity. You're going to the L.E.O.N sculpt. I think it's 16% muscle build, and sculpt Neo. I think it's 25 to 30% muscle build.
And once again, when we talk about in season, off season athletes, right?
Give you a break.
And we talk about giving our joints, our tendons a break. Imagine you're in season. You just played 2 games, a Friday and a Saturday. You come in on a Sunday and you come here. Think about it. There's this video that's going around that's viral of Kevin Durant working out after a game. And he's literally doing Olympic lifts and he's squatting and he's doing all this rotational movement. But he's doing it with traditional equipment. Imagine,
Get the M scope.
you know, he came here. First thing we do is we put him in a vibration plate, throw him in either, you know, one of our protocols that we talked about. And then we end on dynamic muscle stimulation. Like he will be at his practice, his next practice, literally like Superman.
Yeah.
Okay. So
and we've had people who were injured and they were given, you know, 8-month recovery period or 12-month, and they're back at 6 months. They're back at less than 12 months, and they're performing highly effective dunking, you know, running fast, just performing at a very high level. And, you know, literally they go in to see their traditional doctor and their doctor's scratching their heads. Like,
it doesn't make sense. Like,
how
what
did you recover so
what
quickly?
did you do?
So,
Like, what did you do, literally? So, you know, it's, at the end of the day, I continue to go back to, we are a comprehensive, full-service wellness center. One of the things that I always get excited about with our facility is we want to be the new norm. What are we talking about? I know that there's probably a urgent care at least within 5 blocks of each other, right? Right here where we are in the Scarsdale-Hartsdale area, there's literally, with less than 20 feet in between, 2 urgent cares next to each other. Randy and Felix work at one of the top premier facilities in the area, and they're one of the top premier ERs. So within less than a 10-mile radius, right? Within a 10-mile radius, and there's a City MD down the block from you guys, and so many more. So when you think about that, and they're the busiest ER in Westchester. So we are programmed in this world to be reactive with our health. We are an environment that's going to help you be proactive about your health. We want you to invest in your health. So we are an elevated, luxurious, as you can see, experience. We're very down to earth, but everything that we're offering you is top tier. We work, as we've been saying throughout this whole thing, with the average Joe to some of the most elite athletes in the country. And
you always say everybody's an athlete.
Everybody's an athlete. If you have a body, I used to work for Nike, and one of the things they said is if you have a body, you're an athlete. And I definitely took that with me, and it's true. You know, whether your sport is motherhood, whether your sport is being a teacher, being a doctor, being a fit pro, whatever you do, your body has to be trained and functional to do it, to execute it. And the older we get, just like a car, if you don't treat it, right, then it's going to break down. All right.
So, you know, again, what's a big major word out there? Anti-aging, biohacking. And you'll see some of the biohackers have a lot of what we have. I know there was that guy doing that million or he's putting $1 million, he's in a magazine, and he has some of these machines in his bedroom. He approves of some of them, he doesn't approve of the other. But, it's important to start getting into this early. Don't wait until the damage is done. There's a lot of people out there. We know we have Pharmacy for Life right down the block.
Yes, check them out.
Jada and Styles.
Jada and Styles P.
They are doing a lot of, holistic, proactive health, and people moving away from the traditional pharmaceuticals. I'm obviously trained in traditional Western medicine, and, sometimes that's necessary, especially once the damage is done. So
absolutely,
you want to avoid that stuff. You want to be natural and plant-based and everything. Good. Start early and try to get involved in some of these things to stay away from.
We didn't even talk about our Pharmex.
Let's do wellness care
relationship. Yeah. We deal with the body inside out, right? So again, we start with our body composition, but we also do an antigen test. And, both Dr. Taylor and Felix have used these pharmaceuticals and seen a difference in their bodies. And so, again, it's not us sitting here guessing and saying, we think this will be good for you. And what we have coming down the pipe is so much more. I'm very big on fascial health. You might be hearing a lot about fascia these days. And, that's the thin film. Think of like the white film you see over chicken. That's the film that innervates throughout the whole body, goes throughout the whole body and covers all of our musculature. And what they're finding out now is when you cut into fascia, it actually messes with the physiology of the body. So that's why it's important for you to do body work, whether it's lymphatic massage, body contouring. A lot of our estheticians here specialize in that. We're also going to be working with some massage therapists who do body work. And I myself is going through some fascial training. I'm learning a lot more about cupping and other different interventions that help with that so that it creates the area that's needed for your muscle growth and can help manage that fat loss. So
I do want to say, we're probably going to wrap it up at this point, but we got through
hour 30.
Half of, that's how we do it. We grinding, we hustling.
So
what I'm gonna say is, we got through the L and the E. We have the O and the N to get to. A lot more exciting services and therapies and protocols that we have to talk about, and we'll also kind of deep dive into everything, maybe individually on separate podcasts. But we really appreciate you taking the time to listen to us, and we are a proud Latino business. We are Costa Rican. Actually, we said that Felix is from Ghana. We have other team members that we'll be introducing here and there. Our estheticians, our front desk staff, or support staff, our financial staff, and we'll try to really keep it comprehensive and thorough.
Some of our elite athletes and models and people that are like doing some great things, we're gonna bring them here.
So we need some sponsorships.
We're definitely looking for sponsorships.
So we're looking for some,
we can get you exposure. We're looking for sponsorships.
So one thing I'll have you end it. You always talk about having different faces in different places and being comfortable seeing us in certain environments. So I'll just say again, thank you for viewing our podcast, and it's an honor to be in this space, and we feel privileged, and we want to just provide great service and great care for everyone. So if you have opportunity, you don't have to promise to buy anything, or just come out and see what we have. We have 2 sites. We're one in Scarsdale, right over here on Brook Street, Suite 106, right off the Bronx River Parkway.
111 Brook Street, right across the street from the infamous Wooden Fire, down the block from Pharmacy for Life.
And then Park Slope. I literally walk to work sometimes. It's right off of Union. And it's on 5th Avenue, 217 5th Avenue. Beautiful site between Union and President, right near the Barclays, right near Flatbush. Bup. But anyway, I guess that was 20 years ago. It's all gentrified now.
Okay, you digress, and we're gonna come back.
But
and we're back.
Let's go back to the scheduled program. Yeah, come to Park Slope, come to Scarsdale, and we have a lot of great services. And I'm just gonna say, I know I'm talking too much, but come in and use this stuff. I mean, we are big on trying to provide access to everyone.
Everybody.
We do want to be a luxurious brand, and provide access to those people that see the value of the investment in things like this. But we also enjoy. We do a lot of what we call trials, so that everyone can at least get a once or twice evaluation and access to these services, and kind of see the value in it. And it is an investment. It can add up, but what's the alternative, right?
But
You
again,
end up paying a $30,000-$40,000 medical bill because
you had to react to not taking
tore
care
a
of your body.
hamstring.
Right. You saw that guy the other day that was trying to do the free throw at the Lakers, and he went to run and he tore his Achilles.
Yeah.
Right? Because one, he was probably not in the right footwear. His adrenaline was up, and he tore his Achilles. So he didn't make the $50,000 shot, and he just cost himself about $30,000 in insurance bills. But one of the things Dr. Taylor said, and I'll end on, is we want to normalize our faces in these spaces. As two young people, as Randy said earlier, from Costa Rica. Randy's first generation American. I was actually born in Costa Rica, and we're realizing a dream. We're just two kids from Queens, and we face some obstacles, and we'll probably talk about that one day, so that we can inspire others that look like us to go higher. And our children are blessed not to know some of the struggles we had to go through, but they are connected to it and understand the importance of the hard work and how it got here. Because growing up, telling someone that we would be having offices in Scarsdale or Park Slope, people probably would have laughed at us back in Queens, right? And now we're here, and we plan to grow even more. And you're talking to a doctor of color, graduated from one of the most prestigious programs in the country. You're talking to me. I'm also a basketball coach for one of the top Catholic schools in the area. We're coming back with our athletics. Cardinal Spellman, varsity girls, watch us. We're about to do some things this year. But the bottom line is, we're not what you normally see in our spaces. So we want to normalize us. We love for you to come in and experience us, because you're going to leave here feeling so much better than you walked in.
Thank you.
Deuces.